The main background of the week is the supply of new packages of weapons to Ukraine from the Allies, who are demonstrating ever greater unity, and the loss by Moscow of its old allies in the person of Belgrade and Tehran. First, the leader of Serbia, Aleksandr, said that he did not recognize the annexed territories, including Crimea, as Russian, and then the Iranian foreign minister suddenly cancelled his visit to Moscow and stated that he did not recognize the territories of Ukraine annexed by Russia. Against this background, on Friday, the defense ministers of NATO member countries met at the Ramstein base, and Putin, as if in opposition, held a meeting of his Security Council. The Kremlin has thought hard about security, judging by the Panzer anti-aircraft missile systems placed on the roofs of administrative buildings. One of these complexes was even installed on the roof of the building of the Ministry of Defense and 10 kilometers from Putin's residence, in the village of Zarishi, Udinsova district. But the main issue of the week remained the dilemma: will Germany provide Ukraine with Leopard 2 tanks or not? On the eve of Scholz, in a telephone conversation with Biden, he said that he was in step with the United States and would provide Kyiv with tanks if Washington included its Abrams in the military aid package. Zelensky assured the Allies that Ukraine is defending itself, not attacking, and no Leopards will go across Russia. At the same time, the tank issue raises Western assistance to a qualitatively different level, after which the Kremlin can really freak out. And so, all Thursday, hysterical cries were heard from different towers. Now Medvedev was squealing nuclearly from a carriage, then Solovyov was burping curses into a microphone, then priest Gundyaev was predicting the end of the world. And Lavrov, disgraced in the Jewish question, dangled to Minsk, to break Lukashenko, who continues to evade joining the aggression against Ukraine on the side of Russia. He continued to skillfully dodge, although due to the debt load from Moscow, it is becoming more and more problematic for him to leave the war. But Lukashenko understands that such a step is fatal for him and Belarus. Firstly, he will finally put himself on the same level as the war criminal Putin, and secondly, he will destroy the statehood of Belarus, since the contours of Moscow's future defeat in this adventure are already appearing on the horizon. To attach oneself to the aggressor is to bring oneself to the same denominator with him and get defeated with all the consequences. It was these consequences that were indicated on January 19, when the European Parliament voted for the creation of a Nuremberg-style tribunal that will give a final assessment of Russian aggression, the ideas of the Russian world and war crimes committed during the war against Ukraine. This is Putin and his thugs have nothing to lose, and they can go for broke. And Lukashenko believes that he still has the opportunity to get away from The Hague. That's why it wriggles like a snake in the arms of Lavrov. Western experts say that there may not be a new offensive from Russia. U.S. Army Colonel Dave Butler stressed that he does not yet see the potential for a new Russian offensive, and the new weapons transferred to Ukraine could change the dynamics on the battlefield. This is partly true, but Putin's stubbornness is also a well-known factor. The dictator never deviates from what was originally intended. Even taking a step back, he eventually makes a sudden breakthrough, more than making up for what was previously lost. The phase of violent escalation coincided with the impending anniversary of the invasion, when the Protagonas are obliged to demonstrate to the population at least some success on the battlefield. Wandering around the St. Petersburg cemetery on January 18, the rat could not even formulate a goal for which hundreds of thousands of serfs need to go to roast. It turned out to give birth only to a crazy thought: we started a military operation to end this war. The rat miscalculated in the West's readiness to confront the blackmailer and overcome the fear of nuclear terror. The West has even taken economic losses by abandoning Russian energy resources and risking social stability. Now the blackmailer himself is counting the losses and rummaging through the National Wealth Fund in an attempt to patch up the budget holes of the caveman Putinomics. Meanwhile, with the receipt by Ukraine of new packages of weapons, the number of occupying corpses will only increase, perhaps even many times. If in the first weeks 200 or 300 Russians died a day, today the average figure of 200 ranges from 500 to 800. This means that there will be 1,000 corpses a day, and 2 Recycling the empire is in full swing, and the Russian Nuremberg will put a historical and legal end, giving an exhaustive assessment of the acts of the revanchist monster.